Hey everyone, Justin Dark here from Twisted Dark Productions. I normally don't do videos like this on this channel because this is usually just a skit art type channel. This is more like a passion project channel, but I kind of want to make this video for this channel because this right here is a sack of another passion project that isn't made for videos. It's just a little thing I've been doing on the side since, getting my finances together and working on all this stuff. And as you can tell, this room's definitely seen a little bit of a changes since you've all last seen it. But anyway, right here is a sack of you might be able to see it sticking out from up there. This is a sack of these toy cars that all are supposed to be Twisted Metal characters. Some of these I've had since I was a kid, like I'm talking 2010. I was 11 years old playing with these things. Others are newer because I've always wanted to complete this collection, and I haven't completed it per se, but I've got a lot more, than I ever had before. So, yeah, my Hot Wheels that I used to have years ago, I thought I lost them forever after I moved out of my dad's house. Turns out they were just here. They were here the entire time, and, when he moved out, he took them with him. But I've also bought some new ones. Oh, crap. I may want to get the tripod in a minute to show you all the cards individually. Here's just a little sneak peek of what I'm about to show off. This is what I call the the Twisted Sack. I know. That was kind of that was kind of cringe, but it's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek humor for you. I am an artist after all. I do like to make art, and I like making jokes. I write, so of course I'm gonna say something stupid like that. I mean, that's the eccentric behavior I'm known for. Everybody's known me for this behavior. It may or may not be exaggerated for video, but and I'll show you what's new, what's old. I'll talk about them. And also show some back there real quick. These aren't exactly Twisted Metal, but they're supposed to be themed after them. But I gotta work on some of these. That one right there is supposed to be 12-pack. This is just my temporary gold tooth. I'm gonna get a good humor truck and I'm gonna spray paint it gold. But this is just a quick, look at, some of the cars and characters I might, do something with. But they're not as important as the ones I'm about to show you. But because you got a couple of the hammerheads here. This would be the one from Twisted Metal 3, Twisted Metal 1, that sort of deal. But yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna go get the tripod over there and I'm gonna show you all what's in my sack. Oh no, my Hot Wheels. Anyway, so yeah, here's the whole pile. I'm gonna show you, I'm not really gonna go in a specific order because obviously I did not organize them for the video. I just kept them in my sack. I'm probably gonna put them back in the sack as I'm doing this video, but first I'm gonna start off with, obviously I'm gonna start off with this one. Since it is a Twisted Metal toy car collection thing, start off with the basics right here. This is Sweet Tooth, obviously. I had actually recently bought another one of these because, I lost the other one. I had another one. I had a blue interior, but other than that, it was the same truck. But I don't know where it went. I saw it when I first got here 2 years ago, but, I don't know. But, this truck is just, it's just been pretty good. It's definitely a good, place to replace the one I lost, and I needed to get this before I did this video because you cannot have a Twisted Metal toy car collection video without Sweet Tooth. So here's Sweet Tooth. I think this actually fits better than the one with the blue in my opinion. I mean the red inside, it looks, I guess, looks more intimidating and more like Sweet Tooth if he were to have a Twisted Metal. Looks like a Twisted Metal between 1, 2, and 3, I'd want to say. It doesn't look like the one from Black or the one from Head On, but it looks a lot more like the one from Twisted Metal 1, 2, maybe even 3. It looks a lot like the one from 3. Minus that ugly clown head on the top. I will eventually maybe put a clown head on here, but other than that, this is definitely a good sweet tooth, you know? But speaking of that video I saw, I recently picked this up. I think you've all may have seen this video. If you go to my main channel, it is in some of my videos on there. This is Yellow Jacket. And before you ask, no. Oh. No, I didn't customize it. This is a real toy. Back when I was 11 years old, I saw a video on YouTube called Twisted Metal Toy Cars. Basically, it was a video that showed it was like some guy who's like, oh, I went to the toy store earlier and I saw these cars at Walmart, and he picked like 4 of them up, and one of them looks exactly like Yellow Jacket from Twisted Metal Black. Like, what the heck? Is this really Twisted Metal Black Yellow Jacket? Or is it just so happen to be just a coincidence or a ripoff? But regardless, I bought this recently because I've always wanted one since watching that video years ago. So obviously I bought this. And it's really cool, man. I'm so glad I finally got it. It took me like 11, 12 years to get it, something like that. And I got one off eBay for about 25 bucks. It's a little bit bigger than the rest of the cars, but it's not crazy big, or like, it looks kind of like if Yellow Jacket kind of like took one steroid and then he's like slightly bigger than Roadkill, you know? But this is definitely a cool Yellow Jacket toy. It's called Jada Battle Machines. If anyone's curious, it's called Battle Machines. Made by Jada, you know, it's definitely a good car. Like, I think it looks exactly like Yellow Jacket. Like this, it's just awesome. But since I showed you that Yellow Jacket, that was from Twisted Metal Black. This is what I used for Twisted Metal 1 Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket in the first game was more of a basic boxy cab, and I had bought this in 2015, back when I was doing I don't think anyone knows this. I had another channel at one point called Mr. Bagel 75. I had a phase where I wanted to like kind of continue what 72 Winnebago was doing back in 2015. Obviously, that's a discontinued project, and I settled for Twisted Art Productions for stuff like this. And basically, this was a car that was featured back then. I had bought it in 2015, but this is what I used for Twisted Metal 1 Yellow Jacket. Because in Twisted Metal Black, Yellow Jacket looks more like this. Like, big difference. This one looks more like a battle taxi, and this just looks like a regular taxi, just, you know, because that's pretty much what they were. This is I'm actually still working on it. This is Warthog from Twisted Metal Black. Obviously, I still need to, I need to touch up on the paint, and I gotta, you know, fix the windows with some maybe acetone, but this is also something I was doing back in 2015, 2016. I actually made this back then, but the only difference over time is that I just recently painted this. This used to be black right here, but now it's white, and I gotta recode it, and the windows, obviously I still need to work on them, but this is what I do when I'm not on the computer. I actually do some art project stuff, and I also exercise, because I'm a health junkie too. I do like to keep healthy. So if I don't respond to your comment, or I just heart it and don't reply, it's probably because I'm exercising and I'm just living my life. I only do social media stuff like this, like toward the end of the evening and night. Next, this is another one that I actually customized a long time ago, and I just now put the ice cream on it. This is Dark Tooth from Twisted Metal 2. Obviously, I took a Gravedigger toy and I just made it look like Dark Tooth because this is all I had back then. This is all I had because I just feel like it fits Dark Tooth in a way. It's kind of like, yeah, it's a very scary, dark, sweet tooth that's like twice the size of the regular one. I mean, look, bro. This right here is boss size. Like in Twisted Metal, this is a regular player. Like this, you're playing a sweet tooth. He comes up and he sees a giant black ice cream truck, you know? This is pretty much, you know, Dark Tooth, you know? But I will say, there's a funny story behind this truck. This is actually a truck from my childhood. You see this right here? You see all these little pink residues? These are not from the stickers. A long time ago, I had taken like some weird little pink rubbery stuff my sister had, and I stole them from her because I was a little thieving kid. and I put them on here, but eventually I tore them off and I replaced them with these pink ones. These pink little stickers, and they've been on here for like years. But I just did the ice cream recently. Obviously, you know, the ice cream on the side. I want to put a clown on the back at some point, but I don't have a clown sticker yet. But this is going to be Dark Tooth, but this is all I have so far. And since we're looking at Dark Tooth, I'm also going to show this new one I recently bought. I've wanted one of these since I was a kid, right? I had one that was like smaller, but I wanted one the size of this one. And they made them, but I never had it. So recently, since I'm selling on eBay and, you know, I'm getting money, I spent like 25 bucks on this. This is a Monster Jam Chill Out. It's a fan character. It's supposed to be like a giant Sweet Tooth. It's like the light version of Dark Tooth, but he's like more monstrous, and I call him Monster Tooth. That's essentially one of my fan characters. It's Monster Tooth, which is essentially like, think of it as the Brothers Grimm for Twisted Metal 2012. You know, Hammerhead and Slayer. Essentially, this is that, but it's like not with the Grimm gang, but like, you know, the Sweet Tooth clowns. You know, like Sweet Tooth, you know, would drive this one, and Charlie Kane or someone else would drive the other one. It's just an idea I had a long time ago for like a monstrous Sweet Tooth, since I've got Tower Tooth in them, but. Okay, here we have, this is one of my personal favorites, because it's Darkseid. Okay, like, it's pretty obvious this is Darkseid. Yeah, this is Darkseid. It is a black Big Rig Hot Wheel, and I actually like it. I think it really does fit Darkseid. I would, like, do away with this, but I don't think it's really necessary to paint off of there. Because this truck is just, you know, it's fine for what it is. And plus, this looks kind of like fire, I guess, so. But, you know, Mr. Ash is my favorite driver in Twisted Metal. Like, I think he's really cool. I kind of wish they would have brought him back more, because, heck, they only brought him back in one game. The other games you just mentioned, like Twisted Metal 3, no driver. Oh, but it's Mr. Ash. Darkseid, which they were supposed to give Mr. Ash, like, Kid Roll and Small Brawl, Jimmy Ash. But they canceled that, they scrapped that, so not only Mr. Ash, but Pit Viper also have been mistreated in the whole series. Darkseid hasn't been mistreated, they just gave Darkseid a new driver in black. It was, you know, Dollface. And I wish Darkseid would have been head-on. Darkseid and Yellow Jacket needed to be in head-on. Those are the only two characters that should have been in head-on that weren't, you know. But this is Darkseid. Obviously, I like Mr. Ash. My, you know, profile looks like Mr. Ash. But it's a good Big Rig. It definitely fits for Darkseid. Now for Minion, from Twisted Metal 2, it's kind of like a mix of Twisted Metal 2 and Twisted Metal 4. I use this. I actually got this truck back in middle school. Back in middle school, I actually had, or even elementary school, I don't know. It's a childhood toy I had. It's from a Hot Wheels line, and this is called the Invader. I saw a kid at school bought it from Walmart. He showed me, and I went to Walmart, and I was like, Mom, I gotta get this pack of Hot Wheels. It's so cool. It had like a scorpion or something, or like, it was basically like a pack of like wild animal and other stuff. I think it had like a Doom Buggy, the Trapper, like the spider car, but this is Minion. It looks a lot like the one from Twisted Metal 2 as far as like the build of the tank, but I did put some blood on it to make it look like the one from Twisted Metal 4. I think like Drew Desidue said, I don't like it. It looks too edgy. I thought the design in Twisted Metal 4 was actually pretty badass, but I get it though, but this is kind of like a good combination of both. Now for Twisted Metal Black's Minion, this is kind of weird, but this is all I could really find for a Twisted Metal Black Minion. I've had this. This is actually a truck. It's a Happy Meal toy from like, I think, a Speed Racer movie, I think it was, yeah. I had gotten this big truck at McDonald's back in like 2006, and this has been the Twisted Metal Black Minion. I mean, it kind of looks good for Minion. I mean, look at it. It looks like a good Minion. For Twisted Metal Black, it looks a little bit goofy, but I remember I was at the McDonald's when I was a kid. I was complaining like, man, this truck can't race. Why am I getting a truck that can't race? I want the red Mark IV or whatever it was, but but I kind of shouldn't complain about that, because it does serve as like Minion from Twisted Metal Black. It looks either like Minion or just a little tanker from the Warhawk battle, which is essentially the same thing. And speaking of Warhawk, this is like my Warhawk. I know it's kind of lame to have just a regular black helicopter be Warhawk, but if they had a Warhawk, because I would buy it because it has like the teeth on the side, I'd like that on here. But back in 2015, I bought this helicopter, and it's okay for Warhawk. It might be more like a Black Talon from Twisted Metal 2012, but it's a decent Warhawk, and that's who Warhawk pretty much is in these toy cars. Now, I'm gonna show this one. I was just watching another video that was recently uploaded by WTF4. I think that's his name. He had like a mystery. It was like a mystery suitcase of Hot Wheels. He had like he found a bag of a Hot Wheels suitcase, and it so happens to have a lot of these cars in here. Like a lot of the ones I was seeing. Like I saw the Good Humor truck. I saw like a Lamborghini. I saw this one. This is the one I used for Hammerhead. Mainly one from Twisted Metal 2. When I showed you over there, I have one that looks kind of like one for Twisted Metal 1 and then the Twisted Metal 3. This is my main Hammerhead. This is what Mike and Stu drove in Twisted Metal 2. Because Mike and Stu are apparently the best drivers for this character. I have to agree. They're like, they're not even that well known yet. For some reason, they're being in the new TV show, which, you know what? More power to them, man. Mike and Stu are just a couple of goofballs. You know what? Those people from Classified Goons, yeah, they're Mike and Stu. They're just stupid. Like Beavis and Butthead are smarter than those guys. But anyway, speaking of Twisted Metal 3, I know I didn't say anything about it, but this is my fire starter. Out of I have a lot of cars that actually look like this. I have a big collection of Hot Wheels in my storage room. And out of all of them, this one is probably the best looking for Firestarter. I know it's not really a hot rod with, you know, the open top, but this one looks pretty good for Firestarter. It's probably the best looking. I could have used any other ones, but I think out of all of them, this probably was close. It does actually look a lot more like Firestarter. I mean, look at this. This looks kind of like Firestarter's hair, which is like Keith Flint from The Prodigy. Yeah, this is my Firestarter. And yes, I do like Firestarter from Twisted Metal 3. He's got like a really, he's got more potential. Him and Club Kid, I think, both have potential. And I think I had actually gotten this from a big Hot Wheel pack that had like a track, and, you know, but I don't have it anymore. But at least I still have the car. That's probably why I kept it, because it was my Firestarter. Now, I don't have a Club Kid. I'm actually working on making one, but the car is in my room. It's just a black Mini Cooper. I gotta get some smiley faces, but since I'm talking about Twisted Metal 3, I also have a blue Dodge Viper with white stripes. This is Spectre from Twisted Metal 3, which I've always thought that Spectre should be white with blue stripes, not blue with white stripes. Like, I always thought it would be like the other way around for Spectre, but I have another Dodge Viper in here somewhere that's just like that. I don't know where it's at. I think it might be in the pile somewhere. But this is pretty much the Twisted Metal 3 Spectre. I actually kind of like that design, because there's another game that I played that had the same car called Test Drive 5. I played that during my childhood. That and Twisted Metal 4. Twisted Metal 3 I played like in 2010 because it was later on. But this car was in Test Drive 5, and both those games I like. So, let's see, who else? I'm going to show my Lamborghinis. Oh yeah, I own 2 Lamborghinis, by the way. I own 2 Lamborghinis, man. Here they are. These are just my 2 Crimson Furies. This is supposed to be the one from Twisted Metal 1, driven by Agent Stone, the 007 parody, the James Bond thing. And this is like my fan-made version. If you've seen on the channel, the Crimson Killer, this is what he would drive. Like, he would drive a red Lamborghini Countach. I know I used a picture of the Ferrari from Twisted Metal head-on for him, but if he were an actual game, like he had a model, like my own model, it would be a red Lamborghini Countach. Like, I think that makes a better escape car for like a serial killer that likes blood, just a red sports car like this. The Diablo's nice and all, but I think the Countach would be like a neater spin on things. Alright, and here we have Augur and Mr. Slam. Or Super Augur and Super Slam, even though they're the same character, pretty much. That's one thing that Twisted Metal 4 kind of like makes me annoyed. Like, why is it all super this, but then Minion and Sweet Tooth are just like regular? Like, but Super Augur and Super Slam, they're here they are, Augur and Mr. Slam. Obviously, this is Augur, but he doesn't have a drill. I mean, I don't have a little drill to put on there, but I could think about getting one. But I'd have to buy more stuff to make it look like he got a drill on there. So, it's not crucial compared to like all the paints I gotta get and the stickers I gotta find. But here's Mr. Slam, you know, Simon Whittlebone. You know, it's like Trash Man. Oh, but speaking of Trash Man, I've also got a Trash Man. It's just this orange trash truck I found in that bedroom, or that storage room. I actually don't remember where this one came from. Like, some of these I've had since childhood, others I'm like, I assume this was my dad's. I'm like, you know what? I'll take them. I'll take this trash truck at least. And this is the Trash Man, of course. I don't have a crusher, and I probably don't want to get a crusher. Alright, I already got enough cans to crush outside as it is. I apologize for all the puns. It's just, this is how I act, dude. This is just my personality. I act so eccentric even when I'm just trying to make a freaking serious video. I'm a hysterical guy, I'm eccentric, and this is the way I've always been, and I'm a fanboy. But anyway, here's Manslaughter. You know, there's no demon inside of here that's driving it. You can't see a demon. That's because I wouldn't put drivers in here. You know, it just that would ruin the car. But kill Calypso. Fuck Calypso, man. Calypso, you killed Ash's family, so send him to go kill you. Anyway, I've actually got two Twisters. Now, these two are actually different versions in my head. This one would be more like Twister and Twisted Metal, either Twisted Metal 2 or my version of Twisted Metal Black, because I plan on making a Twister story at some point because Twister was supposed to be a Twisted Metal Black 2. I plan on doing Twister, and I plan on doing 12-pack and some others, but one of which, let me know what you think. Should this be the Twisted Metal Black 2 one, or should this be it? Because this one looks a lot more like the one from Twisted Metal 2, but either way, they go both ways. So let me know which one you think would be better for Black and Twisted Metal 2. But those are my Twisters. And now, ever since the first game, this is the one character that never made an appearance past the first one. I've beat none other than Pit Viper. Now, those who may have forgotten, or just don't know, Pit Viper was one of the original 12 cars from the very first Twisted Metal. The car's special attack had the ability to jump up in the air and shoot a stream of acid at its opponents. But really, I was thinking about Grasshopper in the middle of it. Grasshopper and Pit Viper are seen to be very similar. The only difference with these Hot Wheels is that this one is a more skimpy one for Pit Viper, and then this one looks more like a Dune Daddy or like just a regular buggy, a smaller to be Grasshopper. You see, this one is more skinny, so it looks more like Pit Viper-ish, like a snake. Because Pit Viper had a picture on the snake, of a snake on the side. And Grasshopper was like a small one with green like a grasshopper, and this one jumps. This one just shoots acid. I don't know what the fuck 72 Winnebago was thinking. Oh my god, I just said a whole freaking parody of that old 72 Winnebago video, which I still think is funny. I'm not trying to make fun of the guy. It was funny for the time, and it's still kind of funny because he's charming. But that was Pit Viper, and that was Grasshopper. I recently bought the Grasshopper. Pit Viper I actually bought, I think, in 2018, 2019. Some of these I had to order because I couldn't find them in the freaking pawn shops and whatnot, in the flea market. I used to go to a flea market and got stuff like this. This one's actually from a Happy Meal toy. I don't remember what game or what toy series from McDonald's this was. It may have even been Burger King for all I know. Shit. But anyway, this is an old toy I got in like a fast food meal. But I recently put some stickers on it. This is supposed to look or be like Piecemeal from Twisted Metal Small Brawl. Piecemeal I thought was really cool and really neat as far as like a concept, and the visual design was pretty appealing. Looked kind of like Sweet Tooth and Hammerhead and all that. So this is pretty much just my Piecemeal. If Piecemeal were like in a main game and had like I don't know, evil scientist driving it or something. I feel like Piecemeal could be like a Dr. Frankenstein of Twisted Metal. And speaking of, where's the other one? I just had one that here it is. Speaking of Piecemeal, this is my version of Mime. Yeah, it's not white with black stripes because I do not have a car like that. I cannot find a small car like Mime that looks like this. But the reason this is Mime is because this is actually one of my older toy cars. And it's actually from a place that I never brought anything back with me besides maybe this one thing. I think my brother or something, I don't know. A woman named Rose. We'll just say her name was Rose, and she had like a bunch of toys at her house, but we couldn't take them home with us because she thought the family would take them or something, or something was just wrong with her brain. I don't know, but out of all things to take, I actually got this. She said I could have this, and you know what? This tiny little toy car, worth it. This is my Mime for my Twisted Metal toy cars, And of course, I do have a Trapper. I feel like I probably could have done better for Trapper. I think I did before, but this is all I could really get right now. It looks more like Warthog from Small Brawl, but this is Trapper from Twisted Metal Small Brawl. I thought Trapper was a cool character too. Mime, Pipe, Piecemeal, and Trapper were probably one of my favorite things of that game. Like, man, they got good ideas. I kind of wish they'd bring back these three in like a regular game if they ever did that. Like, and give them like stories and whatnot. But here is Orbital from Twisted Metal 4. I recently made a video on the main channel, Justin Dark, and I think I was showing these, but I didn't really acknowledge this one's name. I literally went back and watched and I'm like, oh wait, I forgot to say, oh yeah, this is Orbital next to Super Tooth, which speaking of Super Tooth, here's Super Tooth right here in the light. But yeah, this is like the Twisted Metal 4 version of Sweet Tooth, but obviously like different, like it's a big purple van of circus clowns. I actually feel like this would be for a good, like an alternate version of Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal 4 where he's a ringmaster, an evil ringmaster. I feel like if they reboot Twisted Metal, I think they should like use the ringmaster Sweet Tooth as kind of like a DLC, like say he overthrows Calypso, and for one of the tournament DLC things, guess what? Sweet Tooth and his merry band of clowns have decorated the entire world with just nothing but circus stuff. And you have to go beat Sweet Tooth, beat this new alternate Sweet Tooth. His name is Super Tooth. He's pretty much like the Sweet Tooth that took over the contest, But that's Twisted Metal 4 Sweet Tooth, and of course, here's a better look at Orbital. Orbital is, one of my favorite characters in Twisted Metal 4. Drew Desadoo, I disagree with you completely. This is a great character. This is an S tier character. I know this is opinion. I shouldn't just, but this is my Orbital. I like Orbital from Twisted Metal 4. I think the driver was actually pretty cool too. Like, he's one of the very few I feel like that could actually work like legit in Twisted Metal Black instead of just messing them up. Because I do plan on like doing more Twisted Metal Black stuff too at some point. I might put Orbital, but that might be in a later entry. But here is a Outlaw. This is one of my Outlaws. I've got several of them. Here's my other for Twisted Metal Black. This is the Agent Stone Outlaw with the SWAT guy, the guy who had a bunch of racist skinheads burned down his house, and, he had a PTSD attack when he was shooting, but that was actually cut from the game. I kind of wish they kept that because I thought it was a lot deeper and it made a lot more sense. It recontextualized the whole ending, man. Instead of him just being like, oh, I'm gonna kill them because I don't want to arrest them, But no, it was a lot deeper than that before they cut it. But this is the Twisted Metal Black Outlaw. This is more like the one from like Twisted Metal 3 or Twisted Metal Head On. because I feel like this is like a good Outlaw 2. And of course I've got another Outlaw that's more like an Outlaw 1 from Twisted Metal 1. And I think actually this was Outlaw 2. So I got like 4 different Outlaws. Twisted Metal 1, Twisted Metal 2, Twisted Metal 3, and I guess Head On. And of course I got the SWAT van. But yeah, here's my Outlaws. You know, this would be Carl Roberts. This would be Jamie. Then it will be Carl and Jamie. And then the SWAT thing will be Agent Stone. Alright, we're getting further down the list of what I have here. Here's just 4 ATVs, you know, it's like the boss battle with Cousin Eddie and Twisted Metal Head On. Like, you know, we got 4 different ATVs, you know, Gene Ruddish. It's not really the, you know, most impressive thing. I just got like a couple of them, because, you know, like I got this pink one, this white one, this green and yellow one, and just this yellow and black one. It's not amazing, but that would be ATV. And of course, this would be Junkyard Dog. This is actually a Rig Wrecker, I think, Hot Wheels car. I actually used to have several of these, and I recently got a red one, or a white one with the you know, brown. Because I think this actually fits better than just the solid black one I had. This one looks more like Junkyard Dog. I mean, this even the wear and tear, because this is a really old one I've had for a long time, actually. This is a very old one though, and it looks like Junkyard Dog, like, because it's an old truck, so I kind of think the wear and tear adds to the whole appearance. I want to exclude this one, but this is just my temporary Crazy 8, but I'm currently working on real Crazy 8 with this coupe right here, but I still have yet to paint this and get rid of that. I'm gonna try to put some stripes on there. But these are my Crazy 8s. This is going to be the new one as soon as I'm done with it. Here is my Mr. Zombie. I know it's not a Dragula car, but I think it looks pretty good for Mr. Zombie. I would say that. It looks like appropriate. Like, this is what Mr. Zombie would probably drive if you can't use a copyrighted car. Just a black hot rod with some red on it, you know, and obviously we shoot the zombie. I kind of hope Rob Zombie makes a cameo or something in a freaking Twisted Metal series episode. Here's Mr. Grimm. I could have probably done better with the motorcycle, but of all the motorcycles I have, this is probably the best one. For Mr. Grimm, at least. It's like gray with like red. I mean, it kind of looks evil, but it doesn't look like a demon. It looks like the Grim Reaper, you know? So this would be my Mr. Grimm. I know it doesn't look, you know, the best, but hey, it looks better than a stupid dirt bike I have or something. This would be my Primeval from Twisted Metal 3. I feel like Primeval had potential too, but Primeval was just a rejected boss pretty much, and they just... But Primeval would deserve better, and this would be my version of him. You know, he'd be like this big car with like all these guns, and this is the only car I have that really looks more like a Twisted Metal car. Unfortunately, there used to be rockets right there, but they just fell out. You know, I don't know what the heck happened to them, but they fell out a long time ago, and they're probably like underneath someone's house or something at this point. But regardless, it's not a big deal. This is my Captain Grimm. See, Mr. Grimm in Twisted Metal 4 was actually a pirate. It was probably like an alternate Mr. Grimm. Assuming that, you know, this alternate Sweet Tooth is a ringmaster, this alternate Mr. Grimm is a pirate. So I got a Captain Grimm right here. This probably looks the best for pirate. This is really a pirate Hot Wheel. I've had this since I was a kid too. I actually, even as a kid, I'm like, man, this looks like Captain Grimm. This would be Captain Grimm or Captain Destroy maybe. Like, no, this is Captain Grimm. This is like probably the best car you can get for a Captain Grimm or like a pirate character. So that's neat. This is Roadkill. I'm pretty sure you're all wondering, oh, where's Roadkill? Where's Thumper? Where's Hammerhead? Warthog. We're getting to them. They're actually over there, but here is my Roadkill. Like I said, I'm going in random order, but this is Roadkill. This looks a lot like a combination of the one from Head On and Twisted Metal 2. So it's definitely the best of both Marcus Canes, you know? The one for Twisted Metal 2 and the one for Twisted Metal Head On, but like it looks a lot like actually Anthony Mackie's car in a new show, so that's kind of coincidental, but this is my Hammerhead. I think it fits pretty well. It's kind of hard to get a Hammerhead looking car unless you like beat up a Hot Wheel and hope it's like a muscle car, but Anyway, here is Shadow. This is my Shadow. Obviously it's a nice shadow. It's shaped, it's shaped like me because it's so skinny and it doesn't look like, crap, But people like to make fun of. Okay, I'm kidding. This is Shadow. It looks a lot like the one from Twisted Metal 2, but it's not. I would just make this purple if I could. Leave that black, but purple. But this is probably the best thing I can do for Shadow. Just this black. The solid black, old-timey car. Looks like you could carry a dead body back there. This looks a lot like a Shadow and not. I know it's not a hearse, so maybe it is, but anyway, I'm almost done. Thankfully, I'm getting kind of tired, but here's my pizza boy. I just put these stickers on recently. This is actually just a solid blue BMW. I gotta put a pizza thing up here and maybe some adjustments, but this is gonna be my pizza boy. I know it's not a like a Honda Civic, but I think this looks good too. It'd be like pizza boy, but he's like a BMW, like Need for Speed Most Wanted. But anyway, next, this one is very interesting. This is my moon buggy. Out of all the Twisted Metal, the Twisted Metal 4 bosses that were new, all I have right now is a moon buggy. I don't have Crusher, and I don't have. I think I had an RC car, but I kind of wanted to find it or just redo it because it used to be. I used to have a white van. I literally just cut a piece of a Nerf bullet in half, and I put it on there to make it look like the laser. Now, considering RC Car's design in Twisted Metal 4 is shit, I think that toy car I made when I was 10, 11 years old was probably better looking than the freaking actual thing in the game. But here's Moon Buggy. He's my favorite boss. I do like his design, and this looks a lot like it. I think Moon Buggy's based on an old Mars rover, and this looks to be like a Mars rover. So this is my Moon Buggy. Looks like, looks a lot like him. I wouldn't prefer to be yellow, but here's Meat Wagon from Twisted Metal 2012, and I think actually, yeah, these things even open up. See? Would you look at that? Too bad there's no person back here. You can launch them and the whole room would explode. But yeah, this is Meat Wagon from Twisted Metal 2012. I actually like Meat Wagon, the idea for an ambulance, because I've had a corrupt doctor character before. We had Dr. Hatch, we had Dr. Romir, but I think he was an evil scientist, like Dr. Evil. Dr. Romir was Orbital's bad guy, but this is just an alternate, Twisted Metal Head-On Crimson Fury. This actually looks more like the one from Head-On and not the Countach that I used in the ending, but this is Twisted Metal Head-On Crimson Fury driven by Agent Shepard and not Agent Stone, because Agent Stone was too busy making lattes for Dr. Robotnik, okay? So they had to get Agent Shepard in because Agent Stone was too busy, making all those lattes. He likes the way, he makes them, Dr. Robotnik loves it. But anyway, this one is an original character. I think I will get my main guys out the way real quick before I start the original characters. Alright, so we have Warthog for Twisted Metal 1, Twisted Metal 2, 3. Basically the Humvee. The one you saw was the only one that wasn't really a Humvee. Well, besides the Twisted Metal Small Pro Doom Buggy, but this is the Commander Mason, the Colonel Halls, the Captain Rogers. This is the Warthog from Twisted Metal 1, 2. This is basic Warthog, the Humvee, the military Humvee. And here we have Thumper. I know people were asking me about Thumper with the Twisted Metal Black, the Twisted Metal Black version of Thumper. I actually plan on doing that at some point. I need to plan it first, though. I do have to plan some of these things. I don't exactly, because I was like, man, I might do Thumper. I'm going to do Thumper at some point. I know Thumper was scrapped. Hell, I might even use the design from the game. The black, it's supposed to be like a black, lowrider with graffiti on the side. This is obviously the Thumper from Twisted Metal 1 and 2, and all the others are where he's pink. But in Twisted Metal Black, he was supposed to be a black lowrider with graffiti. But this is just Thumper, it's good. I like Thumper. I do prefer Firestarter in Twisted Metal 3, but I think Thumper having the flames actually didn't make too much sense to me, so. I think the rest are more like original characters. No, here's Brimstone. This is just Brimstone, you know. I was actually gonna design it with like a cross and whatnot, but I tried to, but the cross fell apart, so I have to redo it at some point, or you know, just deal with this. But this is, you know, obviously an El Camino. It looks like a very, very out of shape El Camino for like a very out of shape old man, thinking he's a savior because he's drawing a baby. But this is Brimstone, driven by the preacher, and it looks good, but I do have to, like, you know, the stained glass windows and the cross. I was gonna do that. I actually started on it, but it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, so that's a big L for me. And finally, I was gonna be somebody. I don't think I like the guy I'm gonna be, or the person I'm, you know, whatever. This is Roadkill from Twisted Metal Black. Not much else I can say about that. This is obviously my Spectre, another version of Spectre. I like to think of it as like the Spectre from Twisted Metal Black, or this one from Twisted Metal Head On, but it looks like good for Spectre. I just threw it in here because I think it's really neat. You know, it looks good for Spectre. Here we have a potential either reimagining of Firestarter or a new character altogether. This is a fire truck, and why is it called a fire truck? It would shoot like nuclear flames. It'd be like stronger than Thumper, had like fireballs and whatnot. This is an idea I had either for a new character or just a reimagining of Firestarter, driven by a ghost of a fireman who died in a while trying to save someone from a burning building. You know, that was the story of Fire Fury, I called him at one point, but I think this would be a better like alternate take for Firestarter. Like, I don't know, it seems like the Twisted Metal Black version of Firestarter, which I might actually do that. I might actually make this the Firestarter of Twisted Metal Black. But, yeah, so this was an old character. This right here is a guy I call a Stinger. It's pretty clear why, but he looks like the scrapped Predator car from Twisted Metal 1. There was actually a, scrap character called, like the Predator car, and it looked kind of like a Scorpion. I would actually have that included, but I'm not sure who would drive it per se. Maybe it's like Goggle Eye's worst enemy, a freaking Cockroach King. The Cockroach King himself. But this is just Stinger. I don't know what else to say about him. This would be Calypso from Twisted Metal 4. I would put a nuclear missile in the back, but this would be Calypso from Twisted Metal 4, you know. I feel like Calypso being playable again would be a neat idea to bring back. This right here is Quattro, or as close as Quattro I can get. I actually don't have that many space vehicles, so I had to stick with this silver one. It looks good for Quattro. It looks very, very, otherworldly, so this is my Quattro. It's not a hover bike, but, you know, I think the hover bike was kind of, like, overrated, so. Just get a car that looks like a time-traveling car, but this, I think, would just be like a plain, like it looks like a created car from Twisted Metal 4, and I just call it Bad Cat. That's the nickname I gave to the black car in my copy of Twisted Metal 4 on my PC or whatever, my emulated version. I just call it Bad Cat. It's just a cool name I came up for a character, Bad Cat. I've got cool names, and you'll start seeing more original characters down here. I got like 4 left, and some back there I might show, but right here is another character that's actually in my Twisted Metal 4 thing. It's actually the little Mini Cooper with the skulls on it. But this one, this toy car, is the toy car of Chaos Lord. This is a character I created. Chaos Lord would be kind of like the Loki of the freaking Twisted Metal Ultimate Universe, multiverse bullcrap. But this is Chaos Lord. He's like a black car with red skulls, and I think this one actually looks better. I think I'm not sure if this is supposed to, like, it looks like the Saliva album art. I'm not sure. But, like, I like this car. This is Chaos Lord. That's his name. That's the name of it. And this right here is another character from a long time ago. I call it Jackpot. Jackpot would be a gambler, a heavy gambler. He enters Twisted Metal so he can have all the money in the world to gamble with. He wants all the gambling money he can get, and like Calypso would probably like twist it like, oh, okay, all the money you can get, you're not worth shit, dude. you're not gonna get any because you're not worth shit. You're just gonna gamble it all. Like, that's probably what Calypso would do. This is jackpot driven by a gambler who enters to get a bunch of money. And obviously, it wouldn't be like Chucky Flu. We gotta twist it some other way. We can't just keep repeating ideas like I used to. Right here is an original character. This is Oblivion. Back in 2015, I think I actually joined a Twisted Metal fan character wiki. And this is one of the ones I put on there back when I was like 16 years old. It's obviously dated now or something, but this is Oblivion. This was actually a demonic character that I wanted to introduce to the batch with Mr. Ash, Manslaughter, Minion, but instead of driving a freaking big military vehicle, he drives like a big red hot rod, and he'd probably be like a final boss, you know, because this would be like a he'd be like a devil, really. He'd be like what Primeval wasn't, you know, just an evil demon. But that is Oblivion. That's another character of mine, and this one right here, I actually don't have a name for, but I want to code name it like Justin. It would be me. Like, I would drive a car like this, but I want to be like, this would probably be like an alternate world Justin, but I probably wouldn't put myself in Twisted Metal just because I put myself in every other thing. Like, I write these Honey Pop fan fictions where I'm the main character. I want to like not put myself in Twisted Metal because I don't want to be seen as the one in the competition, and I'm gonna die. So, but this is what I would drive if I were in Twisted Metal. Something like that, maybe a little bit more like a sports car, I don't know. And that's it for my Twisted Metal sack of toy cars. Obviously, I'll just give you all one more last good look at these cars, you know, like, this one I'd probably drive too, you know, like, I have a few cars that look like I would drive, like, oh, this one I look like I would drive, but I didn't include them because, like, you know, some are just like, this would probably be like an Outlaw 5 or something. Like, this looks like the Sergeant Cross from Need for Speed. This guy, I don't know who, this would just be like a random car like in the suburbs of the freeway, you know, it wouldn't be a character. This probably looks like a freaking tanker truck for the Warhawk battle. I probably could have included it, but yeah, thank you all so much for watching my videos, and I really do appreciate the, I do appreciate the comments I've been getting on my videos of the Twisted Metal cutscenes. I really do appreciate it. I've already earned well over 100 subs. I've been trying to get 100 subs on this channel for however long. Like, I think I was stuck at 83 for at least 4 years or something like that. So I do appreciate every last comment I get on the Twisted Metal videos, and I'm glad there's more people out there that know about this underrated series. I hope to God they revive it, and hopefully maybe these ideas might inspire some of you to write your own stories, you know, because I am a very creative fellow. I make stories, and I kind of talk like I have too much to say, because I do. Because I don't like to fake about that, but I do like to talk. That's why I make videos like this, and I write long comments. But thank you all so much for watching this video. It was a lot of fun to do. Be sure to stay tuned to other videos on this channel. I don't make just Twisted Metal content, I make other stuff too, and I'd really appreciate it if you all like would check out what I do. You know, I do like skits, I do, you know, videos showcasing, you know, like my lucid dreams. You know, I do a lot of interesting stuff. I'm a very, very interesting fellow. But thank you all again. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine, but thank you all so much for watching the Twisted Metal cutscenes. It's about time I get recognized, and you know what? I can thank AI for that. But thank you all for watching this Twisted Metal Hot Wheels showcase. I'm Justin Dark on Twisted Dark Productions, signing out. Have a great Twisted day, and as you know what to do. You keep it twisted, because the world is not that great anymore. But yeah, thank you all for watching this, and I see you in the next video. Take care.